Hello friends, today we're going to talk about how to run a vacation rental business. How do you run a vacation rental business like a boss? Are there secrets that separate successful vacation rental businesses from others? There sure is, and by the end of this video, I will answer those questions and give you all the details on how to run a successful vacation rental business that will outperform all the others. Vacation rentals are a massive growing segment in the real estate investing market right now. But with that growth has had a lot of competition flooding the market. So running a vacation rental business today is so much harder than it ever has been. So let's dive into this topic. First, I want to dive into why vacation rental properties have become so popular. Second, I will help you understand why they're so competitive in today's marketplace and why that poses such a challenge, but also a potential opportunity. And finally, I want to show you how you can set your vacation rental business apart from all the others and outshine and outperform all of them. If you're ready, let's go. So why have vacation rental properties and businesses become so popular? Well, think about it. People have always wanted a vacation. Matter of fact, think about the last 5 vacations that you've been on. I would venture to guess that probably 3 or 4 of them that you've gone on, you've stayed at an Airbnb or a Vrbo rather than getting a hotel. Am I right? I think most of you would probably agree that you're right. When we go on vacations right now, we want that experience. We want to go somewhere unique and different, not just staying at a hotel with 100 other people. And I will tell you that the desire to vacation and get out and break away is not going away. Matter of fact, a lot of companies, a lot of corporate level individuals are increasing the amount of vacation time that people have because they realize that when people go out, they get away, they vacation, they come back more refreshed, and it produces a better overall employee when people are able to get away and go on vacation. So that is not dying. It's not going down. The demand is only increasing. You know, last year, my family and I went on a vacation and we traveled throughout the southeastern part of the United States. We flew into Dallas, Texas. We rented a pickup. We loaded 5 of us in there, put everything in the back of the pickup, and we started cruising. We went and visited our vacation rental in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, spent a couple days on the lake. It was amazing. We then cruised down to New Orleans, stayed in an Airbnb there, and experienced 2 nights in New Orleans. We then cruised over to the Panhandle of Florida at an Airbnb there, stayed there, had a great time. I went to the beach, and then we spent 2 nights over in Orlando at our vacation rental there by Disney and experienced all the things Orlando had to experience. And then we cruised up to South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, South Carolina, stayed at Fripp Island for a few nights. And then we stayed at a vacation rental in Charleston, South Carolina and experienced that amazing city for a couple of nights and finished up staying at our rental in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And so we had gone on like a 8-9 day trip on a vacation as a family, and we wanted that experience to stay at Airbnbs so we could be right there in the action of the different cool cities that we've been to. We had never really traveled as a family in that part of the United States, and it was absolutely amazing. But it was more amazing because we were on vacation and stayed at vacation rentals. And I think that demand is growing year in and year out. Another reason they're so popular is they're money makers. I mean, think about it. If you had a long-term rental at a home, right, and say it's an average home, you're making $1,500, $2,000 a month, maybe in that same home, maybe in a little different area, maybe even cost a little bit more, but rather than making $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, you might make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month with a vacation rental. Matter of fact, I used to own some apartment complexes maybe 20 years ago in Southeast Idaho, and I remember we were probably doing about $20,000 a month in revenue. Our vacation rental close to Yellowstone National Park, best month last year in July was $38,000. So 1 door versus 46 doors. Now given it was a time difference 20 years ago, but still that's one of the reasons people love vacation rentals is because there's absolutely a lot of money to be made. In that same area close to Yellowstone, there's months that don't do very well because it's muddy or it's cold or getting cold. Winter does great, summer does great. Those fringe months, the spring and fall, don't do as great, but those huge months make all the difference for the rest of the year for us. And they are money makers. They're exciting to be a part of. And that's another reason why they're becoming so popular. And really, they exploded in popularity about 5 to 8 years ago. As you saw people want to have these experiences. The other thing that happened is people could get into homes at a very low interest rate and with a little bit of money down as a second home. So they're able to buy a second home, 10% down, get like a 3%, 3.5% interest rate, and then rent this place out. And it started making money for people. So there was almost like the perfect storm started to happen. And with all of that, people started seeing individuals have these homes and make money from it, and they wanted to get in. People wanted to dive into this segment of real estate. Now, why have they become so competitive? Well, as I just mentioned, you were able to get into these homes 3 to 5 years ago at a very low interest rate with low money down as a second home loan of 10%. And really people started buying them because they saw what people were doing with it. They saw how much money was being made from it. And obviously, anytime something is working in real estate, there's a lot of people that follow suit, a lot of copycats that want to get involved. So you saw a lot of people diving into this segment of the market. And so instead of having a handful of homes, right, that were vacation rentals, almost every single home in certain areas became a vacation rental, and some areas became absolutely saturated with vacation rental properties. And owners started seeing this, and they thought, I own this home. I own this home in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and this home just sold for 3 or 4 times what I bought mine for 10, 15 years ago. I'm going to start selling for this. So prices started to go up as well, because now the home was going to be appraised as a vacation rental business or vacation rental dwelling versus a single family home, because the money that could be made off that home increased the value significantly as just a dwelling for a family. And then obviously the desire to vacation has only gone up versus staying at a hotel. That's another reason this competition has really flourished. So the fact it became so competitive presented a challenge, right? You had all these homes, you had areas that were saturated. If you owned in those areas, if you bought early on and everybody else started to buy, literally there were times 3, 5, 6, 7 years ago where you could buy a second home in some of these hot areas and just throw it up on Airbnb, Vrbo, and just watch people booking your place year after year. But what people started to notice is their place was just a home. It didn't create a huge experience. There wasn't things that set it apart. It was just a home a little bit outside of that destination area. And all of a sudden, bookings started to go down. They had to lower their nightly rate. And so there's nothing unique enough about their property that made it separate from all the other ones that just came on the market. Because when you get competition, obviously the level of enhancement, the level of improvement rises as well. So you now had people that were coming in or were serious about it. They treated it like a business. And when they bought their vacation rental, they did all sorts of enhancements to make it the absolute most spectacular place somebody could stay. Looking at that place to stay for maybe $50 more a night versus this one that was just very generic. People that bought these thinking they were just going to make a ton of money started to go down. Well, these ones got more booked in those saturated areas. So what does that tell you? Obviously, it tells you that when you do buy a home, a vacation rental, you need to make sure it's unique and you need to do something to set it apart. And it really allows you to treat it like a business. And if you are going to jump into vacation rentals, you do need to treat it like a business. You need to treat it like every single penny counts and every single thing you do inside the home is for a purpose that's going to create the experience that people want to stay there, that people will talk about in their reviews. So that brings us to the most important part of the video. How do you separate your vacation rental business so it is unique and you run it like a boss? First off, as I mentioned, you need to find a unique property. You need to find something that is different. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the home we own in Blue Ridge, Georgia has amazing views. It's at a dead-end street. It's the second home on the end of a road, and you look out your back at any level, the 3 levels of the home, and you're able to see amazing views. The sunsets and the light that shines over there, the blue hue of the Blue Ridge Mountains are just amazing, and as the sun goes down, that orange and blue, there's nothing like it out there. And there's a lot of homes that have a nice view, but this is absolutely amazing that is never ever going to go away. You've also got to find homes that support the data. That's why I go to AirDNA and I make sure that makes sense. I look at a short-term rental calculator, put all the numbers in so I know what to expect. Even I mess with the numbers a little bit to see what my worst case scenario is, what my best case scenario is, and try and fall somewhere in the middle, but at least I know. And so having a short-term rental calculator is massively important when running your vacation rental like a business. And then other things make your property stand out. Whether it's design, whether it's amenities, whether it's cool features, making your property stand out is what's going to get people talking about it in reviews. And if you're able to do that, it's going to get more and more bookings. You know, we put a lot of money into our vacation rental near Disneyland. We themed out every room. We changed the garage, which most people don't use at a vacation rental, into a theater room with a theme of the Avengers, full statues of Iron Man and Captain America in the corners of the theater room, and Lilo and Stitch room, a Star Wars room, and we even have a Jurassic Park theme in the game room with a small velociraptor that makes noises when you walk by it. And you can obviously turn that off. But anyway, making it unique and different is going to make all the difference in the world. And we put a lot of money into that. But the money we dumped into that rehab of that home has absolutely paid for itself, because year in and year out, that vacation rental in Orlando, Florida does well over $140,000 in revenue. And we purchased it for $587,000. And so it fits beautifully in the numbers that make it work. And the last thing I'll say is you got to run it like a business. You've got to plug the numbers into a spreadsheet. Every single month you need to be analyzing your property. Where did you spend money? Why did you spend money? And you've got to be looking at every single month, every single year, and how you can enhance it. If you don't run it like a business, then it's not going to act like a business. You're going to have times where money just goes and you don't know why and you can't track it. You need to run it like a business. You need to put it in spreadsheets or a calculator to make sure that you're getting the most out of your property. You also need to use tools out there. Price Labs is a great tool for helping you understand when to lower the prices, when maybe the demand is a lot lower. And as you get closer and a night's vacant, lowering that price to be able to try and get a last minute guest in there is super important, and there's tools that'll help you do that. I also think utilizing Facebook page, being part of city sites that where your vacation rental is, to help you find attractions, to help you find last minute visitors that might need a place to stay. Being a part of those Facebook groups that are for the community in the area where your vacation rental is really important. And the last thing I'll say is track everything, right? And watch for trends. If you're able to see trends that are going, you can either enhance things, you can slow things down, you can make wise decisions that'll enhance your vacation rental business. Now, these are things that I've seen on how to run a successful vacation rental business, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. What have you seen? What have you done to set your vacation rental business apart? Now, as I mentioned in this video, it's really important to have a vacation rental calculator, and I actually have one for you, absolutely free of charge. Just click on the link below, aaronsfreetraining.com. You put in the income, you put in the expenses, and it will spit out to you whether it's a good deal. It'll let you know what the cash on cash return is. It is a tool that will help you analyze it from the get-go to know and understand how to run a successful vacation rental business. And it's completely free. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.